So I have been cutting my hair for the last 24 years, starting from 1997, and it has been wonderful. So I use the scissors, and this is a paper bag from plastic bag from the convenience store, and I put it like here like that, and here's the scissors, and here I go. So of course, ever since my childhood, I have had my hair cut by the hairdresser or tokoya in Japanese, and there was the family hairdresser, Mr. Hiroi. He was a friend of my mother, and I always went there, and they would give me sweets after, I went through the ordeal of haircutting. And of course, a child doesn't like haircutting, and so I never quite liked my hair being cut because you have to sit still and have to say things, and I was a really socially clumsy guy when I was a child, and I'm still a socially clumsy guy. But it is such an ordeal. And when I was in the UK, of course, because of the language differences and cultural differences, I was really shy to go to a hairdresser. And the town of Cambridge is, as you know, is a college town, and every hairdresser seems to be so, for the lack of better words, intimidating. Because for an outsider like me, because I was not born into the English culture, so I didn't know where to go. So actually, I went to London, taking the train, and I was walking down the street near the British Museum towards Covent Garden, and I came across this barber, and it seems okay, so I went in, and the barber was run by two brothers from the island of Cyprus, and they, we chatted friendly, and they went on with the job of cutting my hair, and these brothers were so talkative, and they told me all about this wonderful island of Cyprus, and I talked about Japan, and I really enjoyed the conversation. But as I said, I am after all a socially clumsy guy, so when the time came for me to cut my hair again, I was thinking, wow, should I go down to London again and have my hair cut while carrying out these wonderful conversations with the Cyprus brothers, and I was not sure. So I did a bit of soul searching, and until then I always thought that it was a sacrilege to cut my own hair because it was something that should be left for the experts to do. And at the same time, I was not really sure of the possible implications and ramifications, and I could cut my hair so badly and end up being a social outcast, which I was anyway. And uh, so I did cut my own hair in my flat, and I still remember the feeling of terror and uncertainty and uh, trepidation as I applied the scissors to my hair. But it went okay, I think. And when I told that fact to my colleagues at the University of Cambridge the next day, they were laughing like devils. And somebody said, "Now you have taken the first step to becoming a mad scientist," and probably I did on that day. But anyway, so I have been cutting my hair ever since, all these 24 years since then, and it has been great because the weather is getting warmer, and I feel that I need to cut my hair. But until I started to cut my own hair, here's a kind of a tedious bit, so I will cut it off. I had to, wonder for a few days until I went to the barber at last, whether I should really be going to the barber or not. And you might wonder why I'm not using the mirror, but I can do it quite easy because after all 24 years, I can just feel it, and I'm actually using this iPhone to monitor this is basically it. So I now wash my hair and I'm done. So yeah, there are some bits there and here that are left out, but I'm fine. So this is how I keep my hair nice and tidy. Well, tidy, yeah. You might not believe it, but there are several of my friends who cut my hair, and it's not just boys. I mean, only you know, girls too. Some girls too cut their own hair, believe it or not. And well, I think they're okay. I think I'm okay. Am I not? So that's so. This is a story of how I ended cutting my hair after I went to a barber run by brothers from Cyprus, and the next time I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about the, this wonderful island of Cyprus again. So that's how I ended up cutting my own hair in my flat in Cambridge. That was 24 years ago, and I have been doing this for the last 24 years. That was my story. Mutually assured hair destruction. No, no, that's not it. That's not what I wanted to say. Uh, yeah, I am the chief hair officer of my life, CHO.